Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Overlord. It is Season 3, Episode 3. And you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, please go down into my descriptions and you will find a link that you can use. Just replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction itself. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out my thought about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. That was a great episode. I really liked it. I'm still a bit surprised that they're going in so slow, so much build up, but I really like the build up. It's really good. So I'm completely in for it. Just by accident, I selected this picture and I did not search for it. I just clicked somewhere in the intro and it was there. Like, holy heck, what a great picture. I really like it. So just wanted to mention. Let's talk about this episode. We have an interesting build-up here, which leads me to some pretty interesting questions as well. I mean, more and more people find out that this village of Karn is strange, to say at the least. We have the goblin who found the place. The goblin boy kind of found, he was led there. As we know, the goblins brought in members from him, from his tribe. I guess they are there now as well, although they haven't shown them, but I guess they found them, and at least some survived. They brought in the ogres, which is amazing, which is awesome. I mean, this is yeah, like having heavy artillery on your side, but it will bring problems for sure, because people are not used to have perceived evil creatures on their side, although those ogres will possibly do what Henry says. That's the one thing, the one side that finds out stuff, so it's very likely that the enemy will find out that some of their ogres joined Henry and the village of Karn, and they will not like that. That's the one side. The other side, which is way more of a problem for the future, is that the kingdom of Irantel will sooner or later realize something strange is happening. Right now, the village has lower taxes, as far as I know. They stated that last time. But there will be sooner or later someone visiting the village and leave later on, and then word will spread that there are goblins living in the village, that they build a wall, that they have either that they have ogres, or that there's this huge shack in the village which they are not allowed to go into. And a lot of other stuff. One is a very famous alchemist moved to the village. That is something that people will have back in their minds as well. And now we have multiple guards and a sorcerer who is aware that one of the members of the village, now chieftain of the village, owns a quite valuable magical item which can summon goblins. And seeing that, and as soon as they hear that there are goblins there, they will possibly guess she used this horn, because they don't know she had another one before. So this will bring in suspicion. They will question what's going on, and this might cause problems, because right now the village is behaving more and more freely on their own. If you have a kingdom, if you have a state you govern, you will not allow it too much for villages or cities to do their own stuff. You want them to obey your rules, do what you want. Sure, they have to defend themselves, but right now, army-wise, they are quite a powerhouse. I mean, they could be a problem, not now, but in the future, even for the Irantel troops, if they would come visiting, if you know what I mean. So I guess it will be only a matter of time until possibly the Royal Head Warrior will go there. Which brings me to the intro scene of him and Lord Ainz standing against front of each other. It is not clear if it's like a hey meeting, or if they're about to fight, or they just want to point it out. We know that Lord Ainz has quite a positive standing with him due to their first meeting and him helping out. But he is a very, very loyal warrior, so a very loyal soldier, so he will take a stand against Nazarick if needed. If he is thinking that Nazarick and Lord Ainz are a problem for the kingdom. And yes, they are, because they are way more powerful, which no one knows. But they really don't care about the kingdom. They are not in for working together or helping each other out. They're there for their very own benefits and reasons. So the kingdom of Arantel will have to look out, or they will get crushed in what's about to happen in the future, I guess. Because as soon as Nazarick is more known in the world, people will flock there to get there, possibly like the Empire and other stuff. And Arantel just happens to be in the way, you know? So that's one thing. We have seen Britta, the red-haired adventurer, ex-adventurer. I really like that they brought her in. She wasn't in when they pointed out about the potion, because if she would have been, then possibly she would have said something. Because her story is about the red potion, you know? So she would have guessed something is weird and maybe started to set together pieces of a puzzle. But she seems to be nice, I like her. As many of the people in the village are, as more neither every one of the goblins is. Which brings me to the goblins. I'm not writing down their names. It's just too much. So many of them. I really like that they are different, all of them. They all have their very own personality, their outer appearance, their skills, different weapons, and so on. So I really like that. They are not generic, you know. As one might guess, when you use a horn of summoning a goblin army, you would guess you get like 50 goblins all looking the same, wearing the same outfit, having the same weapons. But nope, they are unique, each and every one of them. I like that, but there are too many, so I cannot write them all down. However, from the goblins, I will go over to Henry. So, she is definitely in the center of this whole plot, of this storyline right now. This episode, you can see that definitely. Last episode, it started, you know. I discussed it in my last discussion already that she seems to be a good leader. She might be someone who you can aspire to be like a leader of a troop. So for her goblins, she is, but not only because she was summoned, but she seems to have abilities in this regards. Which is she can command and people react to it, as we saw in the last episode. Someone of you pointed out as well that she seems to have some class, like a commander or general, stuff like that. So that where we're going back to the D&D universe, where this is based on loosely. You are fighter or warrior or thief, but you can have other classes like commander and stuff like that, who's very good at commanding troops. So it seems she has something like that in her. That's the one thing. And I think it's a bit of why she was able to get the ogres on her side to command them. Although those were already willing, you know. They already offered to join their side before she went there. But she was able to convince them that she is someone powerful, or at least someone worth following, and they did that. So that's one thing. But what I like way more is the fact that she is empathic and that she is charming, you know. She has high charisma in her very own way, not by outer looks, but by the way that she behaves and that she interacts with people. So, gifting the goblins weapons from her possibly was mainly a gesture of goodwill and of a real thank you. In the back of her mind, for sure she had like, it will increase their fighting power as well, but it's just another benefit. The main thing was, I want to gift them something. But by doing so, she increased their loyalty, which was already over the top, to endless amounts. So that's what she's doing. She is genuinely nice, you know? She's just a really nice girl. A really nice woman, one might say. She's growing older as well. So she had the loyalty by making her village chieftain, very cleverly explained. the goblins will for sure defend the village because it is her village now. That's one thing. But I ask myself something else. By seeing how she is developing, evolving, I ask myself if she might be a future option for a commander of forces for Nazarick. Yes, right now we do not have a lot of human members of Nazarick, but why not? If the members of Nazarick would go for ability and power, and not for which race is it, then I think she might have a chance in the future. Maybe not now, but she will grow, it seems to me. And remembering that Cocytus was tested for his abilities and was, let's say, mediocre as a general. Maybe I guess it's like an open position. Right now, I guess it is still Cocytus having it. Although it would possibly be better to put Demiurg in this place. Because he is very, very clever, so he would be a really good general. But it would give him too much power, I guess, which makes him dangerous, you know? I'm not questioning his loyalty completely, but I'm pretty sure that Cocytus is way more loyal than he is. Because Demiurg is having his very own plans all the time. So the general position for Nazarick is, in my opinion, still open, so maybe it's something she can aspire to get in the future. Which brings me to Nazarus. Very good, Lazarus. Nazarick and the village of Karn. So they are aware that Lord Ainz is helping them. They are not aware that the evil thing in the woods, which summons undead, is Lord Ainz, at least I guess. Although I'm not sure about that, because I remember he summoned a huge undead, an undead captain, something like that, that slashed away the enemies of the village of Karn. So I guess they should have seen that. So maybe they are aware, but it seemed in this episode as though not. They are, however, very well, the goblins, aware of the fact that Lupusregina is not as nice as she seems. Which is good to know. So they have an eye on her. Not that they could stop her, but at least watch her. We had the whole thing in the city. So when she was buying stuff and putting a request out for the guild. I think it's pretty sure that someone intimidated the guild leader. At first I thought she was paid because she was enthusiastic. It seemed to me like it's a lot of money she gets from it. But then when she said, I need to have all information or I will be in trouble, something like that it was said, I'm pretty sure she was intimidated, maybe even put under a spell. So seeing that Momon, the Adamantite class adventurer, was around, I guess it was him. Although that is strange, if he would intimidate a guild member, and then take the request from the guild member. So maybe she's not aware of who did it. Just an option. The Pleiades, however, are very, very active in this episode. So we've seen Lupusregina, we've seen Alpha, and we have seen... I'm always forgetting her name, I'm really sorry. You know who I mean, the one that's traveling with Lord Ainz together all the time. Is it Navarel? I am not sure. Just too long ago, I'm very sorry. However, no. It's Navarel Gamma, right. So she was in the city, which is fitting because the adventurer is there as well. And I like this scene. Maybe I'm misinterpreting something, but it seemed to me a lot like she flew down, I guess, or jumped on the coach, on the pouch, and it was like from up to down talking to the girl, and she seemed very much like, she even said fly, and she didn't mean fly away, she meant like fly like the little one, so like little creepy thing, you're not worth me talking to you, right? Like that. And within 1 or 2 sentences, Henry turned it completely around. And that's something I find extraordinary. So it seemed to me like Henry was able to kind of convince her to be on her side, to be nice to her. By saying that she looks beautiful, just like Lupusregina does, and so on and so forth, yada yada. But she then sat down and talked to her on the same height, which is you put yourself in the position of the other person. So, and she seemed to be even nice, you know. So that is something that I'm looking for, because if she really has this ability to, which is possibly something in her class as well, to get people, persons, whatever, to follow her, to trust in her. That is something that could be a benefit for the village of Karn, in the meaning of that they do not destroy it. Just saying. Okay, so now that's it for this time, and the small shadow that gathers in the woods, in the forest, is waiting on his throne for the next episode, as do I. So, all from me. I hope you liked. As always, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.